right. All right, my guest today is Ilyse DiChiara from Green Healthy Living. Ilyse, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Me too. I know that we've been trying to plan this for a while, so I appreciate you giving me the time today. I know that your background is not really in the wellness industry. You kind of got there from your own personal journey. So I'm going to kind of let you take the floor and tell us where you came from and how you got to where you are right now.
Okay, super. Thank you. I'm going to give you the abridged version. Otherwise, this will be a 5-series documentary.
All right.
Okay. About 8 years ago, I wasn't feeling well. I was having just some chronic aches and pains. I didn't know if it was because I was getting older or what it was. So back pain, joint pain, I couldn't make fists. I mean, all my knuckles were hurting. Everything was hurting me. Went to my primary. They sent me to an orthopedist. They sent me to a neurosurgeon. I had every kind of test done. And when they didn't truly know what to diagnose me with, they diagnosed me with fibromyalgia. So I was on a strong medication and the pain abated. I really was feeling a lot better, but the medication, I couldn't function. It was, we called it like a Lyrica fog. I would not even be able to do a video right now without forgetting what I was going to say. So
Wow.
It was kind of hard to work. And at that time I was in the litigation support industry, which was traveling, doing trials with attorneys. So
Wow.
I didn't have the luxury of spacing out. So fast forward a couple months from being on the medication, about a year being on the medication, I go to a doctor because of a cold. I think it was urgent care. And I'm complaining about a cold. I have this constant drip in my throat. And he said to me, "Do you have any food sensitivities?" Never had I heard that term before. I'd heard of allergies, but never food sensitivity. So I said no. So he starts to tell me about this 30-day elimination diet, giving up, in my mind, everything.
Right.
Gluten, wheat, dairy, sugar, my sweet and low in my coffee. And I thought I was healthy at that time. You would open my refrigerator and I'd have fat-free everything, fat-free yogurt, fat-free milk, skim milk, fat-free fake cheese,
Right.
Kraft fat-free singles.
Of course, it was fat-free, so it was healthy, right?
It was healthy, sugar-free, fat-free. So as I'm listening to him tell me all this, all I'm hearing is white noise and panic because I'm like, there's no way I could do this. Well, I did it. He put me on this diet called the Whole 30. It's a book that's called It Starts with Food. And when you start reading it, it makes so much sense. So fast forward to the 30 days, I got through drinking my coffee without my sweet and low and my fat-free almond flavored creamer.
Which is a big accomplishment in and of itself.
And the first passage in this book was, people freaking out about what they're going to put in their coffee. And the author wrote, "It's not like fighting cancer." And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can give up the crap in my coffee. So fast forward 30 days, the drip in my throat went away that I've had my whole life from the dairy. I could do this again with my hands. I would wake up every morning not being able to make a fist. And, I'm 52 now. This is 8 years ago. I shouldn't have felt that bad.
Right.
Less joint pain, less back pain. I weaned myself with my doctor's help off of the Lyrica and my life changed. I mean, I don't know if it would be this miraculous for anybody else, but for me, I realized, oh my gosh, there is some connection between food and weird anomalies that were going in my body. So I probably really had nothing serious wrong with me, but
right.
Inflammation and sensitivities to all of these foods.
Yep.
So then I start following this one woman on Facebook, and she's doing a green smoothie challenge. I had never had this used to scare me too. So I started doing her challenge, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I love green smoothies. And I went back to school, and that's where I am right now. And I work with clients, really just teaching them small changes, big results. If you make one change a month, look where you'll be in a year. and feeling better, and just so that's kind of where I am right now.
Awesome. So the few things that I want to talk about today are going to be your mantra of small changes, big results.
Right.
And that kind of goes along with the 80-20 rule, sustainable habits, primary and secondary foods. And my first question, I think, is going to be, do we make this harder than it has to be? Is
Yes.
weight loss as hard as everyone thinks it is, or do we just overthink it and overcomplicate it?
Me being an overthinker and complicated person per my husband, yes. But when it just comes down to eating, and like I overthought it when the doctor said, give up this, 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 and this, and this. I did it cold turkey for a reason, to see where I had sensitivities to food. So
Right.
sometimes if you are riddled with pain, or if you are sick, or if you have unexplained things, you kind of have to do that 30-day elimination.
Definitely.
But once you get to a point where you kind of know what your body likes, no, it's not, we don't have to overthink it. Even if someone said to me, I don't want to give it all up, give up one thing a month. Give up cheese, give up dairy. And I mean, when I tell people give up cheese, they look at me like I'm the most awful person in the world. But for women, dairy, if someone says the first thing to give up, other than the artificial sweeteners and the crap, it's always dairy. So yes, we do overthink it. If you could incorporate one healthy habit a month, or maybe modify one habit, it's modification. So yes, we all overthink it. If you change one small thing, it's the ripple effect, and it will add up.
Okay, so I guess I should backtrack a little bit. I know that your journey was more for health reasons, so that's how you kind of got into this. You went to school and began this holistic approach. And I know that most of your clients, correct me if I'm wrong, come to you for more weight loss, I'm guessing, right?
Correct.
Okay, so so the 80-20 rule, when it applies to people that are trying to lose weight, how does that work? And what's your advice when you're starting to work with people?
My advice is, part of living, part of eating is pure joy. From me being a holistic coach, I talk about, we need to nurture our body and feed our body with the foods that fuel us and nurture us and help our brain, help our organs. But life is about enjoying food too. And it's so if you came to me and said, Ilyse, I need to lose 20 pounds, you don't need to lose any weight. I help you find the things that you love, and just modify it.
So if I say to you, I love mac and cheese, every Friday night is mac and cheese night at my house,
I would tell you, maybe do it once a month and enjoy your mac and cheese, and let's make modifications. Instead of opening the craft package, I would teach you how to make a homemade macaroni and cheese that, as opposed to the whole box is, I think, 1,800 calories with chemicals. I'll find a pasta and a way for you to make it and still enjoy it. That's my 80-20 rule. Or if you like to go out to dinner every single Saturday night, and your routine is getting a cocktail, having the bread, having the dessert, pick one and enjoy that dessert, enjoy that glass of wine, because every week we can't do it all. Or you're going to a birthday party, it's an occasion, enjoy the cake, enjoy the wedding, enjoy the food. But on a regular Tuesday night, no. That's my 80-20 rule. Joy. You need to enjoy, because if we deprive ourselves, it's never going to work.
No, that's probably the number one rule, I think.
Yep.
Because I know that I deal with some clients that are going through weight loss, and I try to explain that too. I'm not going to tell you to not eat the things that you enjoy, because that's going to make you go even crazier, and then you're going to want it even more. Of course, things we can't have, we want more. So how long typically, I know that you work on like 6-month programs to start out with your clients. What's the time that you see that it takes someone to kind of form that habit? So if their thing is, let's just keep going with mac and cheese night.
Okay.
That I personally, I don't really like mac and cheese. That's an
It was a good example because most people do love it.
Okay. So we'll just stick with that for now. So if mac and cheese is my thing every week, how long would you say that you see it takes women or guys to kind of start actually feeding off of that meal?
The average person, 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
And why I do a program for 6 months, and I just started a new program for 3 months, because some people find 6 months too daunting. But I like to be with someone for 6 months because we go through the holidays, we go through, someone's always got a crisis going on in 6 months. You've got office parties, you've got occasions, you've got good times, bad times. So I'm living with you like this. This is how I work with my clients. And we need the time. Habits, you know, it takes a long time to create a habit, and it takes even a longer time to adjust your habit. So it becomes second nature.
Definitely.
That's why I think no one got unhealthy overnight.
Yep.
So we all have to give ourselves a little bit of grace and realize, again, my silly mantra, small changes, big results, it adds up.
Yeah, I think probably our problem as a society is patience. We want everything instantly, and we don't want to wait 3 months or 6 months.
No. I just did a 2-week refresh, winter refresh with people. And one woman, after 2 days, gets on her scale and didn't lose any weight and is freaking out. That's what we expect.
Right.
You know, we can gain pounds in 2 days, but our bodies are all different. It's cumulative.
Yeah.
You know, so in a year, you know, I always say to someone, look where you'll be in a year if you give up or change or modify a behavior 1 a month.
Yeah, absolutely.
1 a month.
I see that in my industry too, because I'll take on clients and I have them start on 3-month programs. Not going to start a program with you for anything less than 3 months. Of course, I would like it longer, but like you said, more than 3 months makes people like nervous, and they feel too committed. They don't want to overcommit to something. And then after 3 months, they're like, okay, yeah, I think I can just do this on my own. I'm like, how many years were you doing it on your own and it wasn't working? So now you think that you have 3 months where you did something and got something accomplished, and you're going to just go forward and continue on. And it's hard for people to understand. And then they come back and they're like, okay, you know what? I don't know what I was doing. And
it's nice to have that. I hate calling myself a cheerleader, but that's what I am. I'm someone's cheerleader. I'm their advocate. I'm their health advocate. We speak twice a month. We email. I have clients that are saying, I have an event. This is where I'm going. I download the menu and I tell them exactly what to order, you know, and that's what the 6 months allows. I teach someone the tools of knowing how to order so they don't need me reminding them, you know, get the chicken. Get the chicken. I don't eat chicken, but I still say, get the chicken.
Good advice.
Right.
But yeah, it's true. You're a cheerleader. You're their accountability partner. And it's almost like they might feel a little guilty by overeating something or getting the dessert, the cocktail, the appetizer, everything, and then knowing that they have to come back and tell you what. Right.
And they pay me. I commit. They sign a contract with me. It's a 6-month contract. They pay me a lot of money for 6 months. And as much as they're committing to me, I am committing to you. You've got me for 6 months. On a Friday night, you need me, you text me. I mean, maybe it's not the best business model to be available 24/7, but you know, health, weight, it's personal. You know, it affects people emotionally, physically. So, you know, I have clients that came to me to lose weight, but all of a sudden they don't need their cholesterol medicine anymore, or their blood pressure. They go to their internist and they're like, what have you done? You know, I stopped eating dairy. I moved my body. Yep. You've got to move.
I agree.
Well, talking to you, yes.
So would you say when you're advising people and helping people kind of understand how this is going to work, do you go into calories, or do people come to you and say, well, should I cut the calories? Should I cut the carbs? Should I cut the fats, the sugar? What's the overall message? The one thing that you tell them to focus on the most to start out?
The one thing when we're starting out is not calories, not checking in with your plate, cognizant of portion control. So even if you open up that crappy Kraft macaroni and cheese, that box, I think, is for 4 portions. So if you're going to eat that, measure it out. If you're going to eat the salad dressing that comes at the grocery store that you pull out of your refrigerator, measure out a tablespoon, because everyone just pours it on. And just because you're eating a salad, you could be eating a 2,000 calorie salad. So I don't want people fixated on calories. Calories matter, but when you're trying to reframe your mind and reprogram your mind, I would rather have you just see what's on your plate and control the portion of it. Start with if you want to eat rice, brown rice or quinoa, start with a half a cup. Eat that half a cup first. Wait a little bit. If you want a little bit more, take another half a cup. Rather than just starting with the cup, you might not need the whole cup. So that's what I am. Is just be aware. I also, again, the holistic approach is I tell people to pause, enjoy your food, kind of, not saying grace, because I don't put but just appreciate what you're eating. Yeah. And don't shove it in your mouth. Don't eat off of a paper plate. It does make a difference what your presentation is. I remember back in the days of when I was healthy, I would make my lean cuisines and my Weight Watchers. I put them on a plate. I would eat everything on a smaller plate.
Right.
And so it's just being aware of every bite and measuring. That's the first thing I say to everyone. You got to start measuring so you understand when you're eating almonds, good fat, good snack, but not the whole bag.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure it's very eye-opening for people.
It's eye-opening for everybody.
Yes.
What we're really eating, of how much dressing you put on, or how much ketchup. Ketchup's filled with sugar.
Right.
Is it horrible for you? No, but a teaspoon or a tablespoon, or use mustard, But I watch sugar. Sugar to me is the thing that I tell everyone, if you're going to look at a label, don't fixate so much on the calories. Everyone's so worried about the carbs. We need certain carbs. Look at the sugar and look at the ingredients. And if you're buying something and the paragraph of ingredients is this big, put it away and try and find something else.
Definitely. So what are the primary foods versus secondary foods? I know that we kind of talked about that a couple of weeks ago when we chatted. Explain that to me, because I don't think I caught on to all of that.
Okay. In my training, we learned there are 2 types of food: primary food and secondary food. The secondary food is what we consume, what we eat, anything that's on our plate that nurtures and nourishes our body. The primary food is everything else. It's your lifestyle. It's the way you cook. It's your relationships. It's your job. It's your spirituality. It's your exercise. More often than not, the people that need to lose some weight or are chronically unhappy, it's really not the food that they eat. Your secondary food is completely affected by your primary food. If your life, and I have this chart, it's like a pinwheel, and it's got 12 things on it, and we connect the dots, and all of our dots should really be aligned towards the rim of the circle. When they are here and here and here and here and here, it kind of makes you look at your life and see, okay, this is where I need to improve a little bit and find joy. If I ask someone, where do you find your joy? You got to have it somewhere. It might not be in work at the time, and everything might not always align up at the same time, but find it somewhere. Home cooking is very important. That is one of the most important things. So that's what this primary and secondary food. Most of what I deal with my clients is not what they put in their mouth. It's the primary food. Once we get that in check, the other things come easier.
So is that almost like for instance, someone that's like always traveling, they're always on the road and they just kind of go out and they grab food. So their work life and their travel life is kind of impacting what they're putting in their bodies. Is that kind of what you're saying?
That's exactly it. One of my clients travels all the time. So she is dealing with the buffets, the Continental Breakfast buffets, and she just did not know what to eat. And her fear was, and this is what we all have this dialogue in our head. She goes, if I don't eat a lot now, what if I'm hungry?
Yep.
What if I'm hungry? So she ate so much, so she wasn't hungry, but then she had lunch.
Of course.
So it was teaching her the tools of what to do at these continental breakfasts, of what to order. And it's amazing. You can ask them, do you have any hard-boiled eggs in the back? And they'll bring that out. Do you have any avocado? And they'll bring that out. It's teaching you the tools of how to manage that. So her career was completely out of whack because she traveled 30% of the time she was home. So she traveled 75% or 70. I could do
right. That's right. You had me going.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it is. It's managing your life.
So, and that's also a continental breakfast hack for everyone that travels. You can now ask for hard-boiled eggs and maybe even avocado.
Or bring it with you. Bring things. I'm a proponent of, if you know, it's planning and preparation. It's easier said than done. But again, why I work for someone with 6 months, because even just getting your mind around bringing your own food somewhere can take months.
Yep.
That's why it's proved when someone says, oh, I can't commit to 6 months. I'm like, okay, I finally have altered a little bit to a 3-month plan for some people, because I can help you in some aspects, but it really is proven for the way that I teach people, we need the 6 months.
So you mentioned prepping food. Do you tell your clients to prep? Is that like a thing that you're like every Sunday night or whatever works for you?
Whatever works for you. And I mean, prepping could even be if you know you don't like to cook. Nowadays, there are so many amazing food services where the food is fabulous. Or just knowing, all right, I hate cooking. I'm not a good cook. Where are you going to get your food that's already? You know, does your grocery store make roasted chickens? Can you get a nice piece of salmon? Can you go to the salad bar and get a salad? Whatever works for you, but you have to have, when you wake up, what you're doing for dinner. Because if you don't, even me, I love cooking. Right. I prep, but if 5:30 comes around and I don't know what I'm doing for dinner, and you know, I have a husband and we eat totally differently. You know, he's a carnivore and he's a big man, so he eats triple what I eat. I freak out, and we might not have the best choices and the best meals because I didn't plan. I plan my weekends. Before I go to a restaurant, I look at the menu.
Oh yeah, I think anyone
always
is like a psychopath. You have to look at the menu before you go anywhere.
So I know, is there something we can eat that I can eat there? Especially I don't eat animal protein, so that adds a whole other layer sometimes of confusion. But it's preparation. You know, we prepare when we go on vacation. We prepare for work. We prepare for everything. And what we put in our bodies is the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing, and nobody prepares for that. Even Super Bowl. I know I had company over. I know my company was freaking out thinking, what are we going to eat at her house? What is she serving? You know, but I had things for everyone. I had the people that didn't eat meat, people that are eating greens, the people that are eating this. I prepared for everyone to come and be able to eat at my house. So that's key.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything that you've been saying it sounds so easy. And like we said at the beginning, it's kind of like we overcomplicate it. But I think to take out one thing from this would be to change one habit per month. I think everyone that's listening and watching this right now should just try that.
Try it. And that habit could be, all right, I usually put sweet and low in my coffee. Or no one uses sweet and low anymore. What's the
Splenda?
Splenda.
Yep.
I would rather have you use a tablespoon of sugar, like a brown granulated sugar. I'd rather have you do that than the artificial. The only thing is non-negotiable for me and a client is chemicals. Sodas. I don't care if you're addicted. I was addicted to Tab. Do you even know what Tab is? You're younger. I was addicted to Tab. You know, that was like the Diet Coke back then. So if it's that stuff, it's making one small change. Even if the change is walking up the stairs, park your car. I mean, the things we always hear, just park your car a little bit further away and walk. Put a new green vegetable on your plate. You know, if you love rice every night, maybe just have rice 3 times a week and try just filling your plate with one extra vegetable. One change, one modification, even if it's eliminating something, having that mac and cheese
just once a month instead of 4 times a month,
or once a week if you're eating it a lot.
Right.
You know, it's making the promise to yourself that you're going to be careful of what you put in your body. Then you just, you know, everyone, we run to the doctor with every ailment, and just worry about yourself. Just worry about what you put in your body so much.
Definitely. So this might be more of a personal question for you. It's not very personal, don't worry. But just because I know that you were vegan and now you're more vegetarian based, correct?
I don't eat dairy.
Okay.
I still eat a little bit of fish.
Okay.
My eggs are not as much. I mean, I think being vegan is in stages. I think anybody giving up any kind of animal protein it's a state. You do it in stages. So I don't eat a lot of animal protein.
Okay. So what do you think of all these products like the, what is that? The Impossible Burger?
Oh, okay. I have a huge opinion on those.
Okay.
It's junk food.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I would imagine, because I don't know.
It's processed junk food. But if I'm at a barbecue and I want to feel normal and partake in the summer fare and the fun of a barbecue, I'll have one of those burgers. They're delicious.
Okay.
They are not a staple. You know, there's so much controversy there. Everything is now being, there's a duplicate for chicken. There's something, but I would not go to McDonald's for their faux chicken. But if I'm on a road trip with my husband and there's nothing else for me to eat, at least there is an option, because McDonald's isn't healthy in any way, shape, or form. So I am not a proponent to tell someone, give up a real hamburger and start eating this. So to me, if I have an Impossible or Beyond burger, it's definitely, that's my 80-20, and that's a unhealthy treat for me, but I feel like I'm eating a hamburger.
Okay. And just in case I wasn't clear before on the 80-20 rule, what is the 80-20 rule exactly?
Okay. 80% of the time, you're on point.
Give me 1 second. Let me just quiet my dog.
Okay, that's okay. I'll have my smoothie.
He can't walk back up the stairs, so once he went down, he couldn't get back up. All right.
Okay.
So 80%.
Okay, so 80-20 is 80% of the time you're on track. And I don't mean in a day. I mean kind of like, all right, I have a wedding at the end of the month. I'm saving that 20% is the wedding. Right. That's how I look at it. Or if I know we go out to dinner every single Saturday night, I want to enjoy my dinner. If I am exercising during the week, and when I say exercise, it can range from just moving, just walk. You know, I sit at my computer a lot, and I'm obsessed with my steps on my Fitbit. So I set my timer to get up every hour, and if I know I'm home all day, I just walk around the house until I get my 10,000 steps. I drive my husband crazy because I can get into bed and need 400 steps. I'm up. I'm walking until I get my steps. So that's what I mean by 20%. So if you know you want to go, if you go out on Saturday night and you want to indulge a little bit, I'll have that glass of wine, or maybe have the piece of bread. Not the butter, but the bread with olive oil. There's always small shifts, changes, shifts, pivots, alterations. So that's what the 20% is. It's not in a day, though. I mean, okay, I was good for breakfast and lunch, so now I'm going to have my macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you specified that.
In the scheme of your life.
Right.
I know I'm going on a vacation. I'm going to be really good, and that 20% is my vacation. And I'm going to still be mindful, but enjoy my vacation and not feel guilty. It's the joy. So that 20% is your joy.
Perfect. Well put. And just in case anyone missed that, she said 1 glass of wine and 1 piece of bread.
Well, and that's the key. When you learn to really enjoy it, that's all you need. And you will savor that 1 glass of wine. You will savor that dessert or splitting a dessert with someone, as opposed to shoveling in. And one more thing that is paramount and key: mindfulness. Yes. Just enjoy your food. Sometimes I watch my cat eat, and she eats so fast that she throws up. Yeah. We all do that sometimes. When you're eating chips or you're eating nuts, again, measuring. I mean, the things I say seem so basic, but it's not. It's easy to get that bag of healthy almonds or pistachio nuts, which aren't bad for you either, and go sit on the couch and just shovel them in. But it's tons of fat. It's good fat, but it's still tons of fat, tons of calories, and it could be 3,000 calories for a bag of nuts. So measure, be mindful of what you're eating. Be mindful of what you're saying. Just be mindful. Be mindful how you move.
Right. Just be a mindful person in general.
And it's hard. It's hard to retrain your brain when you're used to sitting there and just eating and not thinking about it. It's hard. That's why you need the 6 months.
Yep.
That is why. And then I have some clients that sign up for another 6 months. They have the tools, but they like the accountability.
Of course.
They like our phone calls and just the reminder and the commitment that I have to somebody. You get emails from me. You get texts from me. You get, what'd you eat today? What do you weigh today? Did you move today? I'm that little nag in their ear.
That's awesome.
With love, though.
Of course. All right, Ilyse, so where can everyone find you?
You can find me at www.green-living.com. That's my website. I have a Facebook page, greenhealthyliving.com by Ilyse DiChiara.
And Instagram?
Green Healthy Living.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to finish up with my usual question.
Okay.
A book, email subscription, or article that you've read recently that you think everyone should check out?
I love, and this is my holistic side. Actually, no, this is a good book right here, right in front of me. It's called Clean Protein by Kathy Freston. She is a vegan, so I will, just because I don't eat animal protein, I will never tell a client, give it up. I might say, let's go on the trend of Meatless Monday. Let's eat a little less. Let's choose our quality. So this book really explains, because the first thing that people say to me is, where do you get your protein? Stupidest question ever. No one has ever asked me where I got my protein until I tell them I don't eat meat. So this is a good book in the sense that it just gives you all the ways that you can eat clean and have clean protein and eat greens and vegetables and beans and even meat, quality, organic, grass-fed, really, really important. So this is one of my favorite books.
Okay, awesome. Definitely have to check that out.
Okay.
All right, Ilyse, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Just keep going on and on and on, but I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So
I appreciate it.
And I hope you enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Take care. Okay. Bye.
Bye.